Ready for this?
Strange journey.
Alrighty, we're going to get started today. I need to cut some angle iron pieces to go to the bottom, one on each side here. Then we're going to seam them together, overlap or seam them together. Then we're going to drill each side, tap this receiver, and we'll put our bolts into there. That'll give me a place to weld to brace to the pivot point on the frame. That will give me my triangulation, so that I'll have the as maximum support as possible. And this is hardened angle. Came off of old bed rails from beds and stuff, so this is really hard stuff. So we're going to go ahead and chop it up into the sections that we need, and we're going to get started. We're working.
Was a little attention.
So we've got this plate welded with these two pieces together. We're going to drill this on each side, then tap the receiver so that we can bolt into it. I decided to do that with nuts and bolts. I thought it would be stronger and more secure. And then we're going to come off of this and run down under the catalytic converter with the muffler and everything, and to the transmission horn. So we're going to come down and go to the transmission horn and bolt at least one solid bolt there. That'll give me the triangulation to keep it from tilting up or tilting down under load and push and pull. Now, we purposely bowed the top of the hitch for any weight transfer, so that if it sets like this, it'll even out. And also we bowed it backwards, so when you pull on a dead pull or hook to something, let's say we were pulling something that was like a stump or something, just for example, it will give and bend back in instead of bending out and giving away. So weld's not the greatest in the world because I shake so bad now, but I used to be able to be an excellent welder. But hey, it'll hold. That's all I care. So we're going to take care of this, tap this, and then we'll go on from there. We're still working.
Town outside, I'm a chick with a town infection. I'm on with a little reaction. in the middle of a town outside. I'm a chick with a town of affection. I'm on but a little reaction. Be hanging around my perimeter, all twisted up in wires. All I wanted was a little attention.
So what we're doing is trying to weld this tabs on this bracket, and what this will do is it'll weld up to the bottom of the trailer hitch, the receiver, and then go back and mount to the frame. That way it gives the triangulation so that it won't pivot or bend. So we got it tacked. We'll see what's going on. We're working. The other camera battery went flat during continuous filming for the time lapse, so I'm not sure how much we got of all the welding and everything, but what I've got is this plate that bolts to the receiver, and this plate with these forks up here will slide up onto the trans mount. So what this piece will do is going to go underneath and give stability from the hitch portion of it, which is this here, to the trans mount, which is the frame support. And that way it'll triangulate. It'll give 3 points of contact, 3 points of dispersal of load. It'll stop it from the hitch from pushing, pulling, or twisting under weight. Even though about 100-150 pounds is all the tongue weight that I'm going to be able to put on the back of this, because it's just not set up structurally in the rear end like that, I'll be able to pull, you know, a tremendous amount of weight because of the way that I've triangulated it and hooked it to the frame. And that's really what I need to do, is possibly pull a lot of weight. The little trailer for my advertisement and everything that I'm going to be utilizing in the back shouldn't be any problem. So we're going to finish undercoating this. It's all welded. It's all together. I actually did better welding today. It wasn't shaking as much. So, but boy, you used to be able to see the rows of dimes back when I was a good welder. Now, it's functional, and I did grind out a lot to make sure that I was able to get good penetration with this different type steel, hard steel to mild steel, and it worked really good. So we're still working. Like I said, we'll get this undercoated, and hopefully I'll get it on and get some shots of it totally on. Alrighty, it's on. It's undercoated, fully bolted up. Everything's good. I'm not sure if you can see how it is, but it. I picked out this receiver, and it's actually an adapter that I modified to take the 1.25" receiver that's supposed to fit in the large receiver, and I modified it and welded it to some bed rail frames. These are really high tensile strength. These are things that take a lot of weight, bed rail frames, and then we brought it over and bolted it up to the where the frame horn for the transmission mount and the lower control arms mount. So we mounted it to that, and that line comes back and gives all of the pull. Now it still is only going to have about maybe 150 pound tongue weight maximum, which is fine, but it should be able to pull everything that I would ever want to pull with it. So we're going to take and drive it around, and I know it looks low, but I did it low on purpose so that it's an exact center line of the bottom of the vehicle, so that it pulls directly on the lowest portion of any frame part and not on anything else. So let me get up here and we'll take a look at how it looks on ground, level ground. Alrighty then, this is what we end up with. It is arched in the center, so it's arched in the center for distributing a load. It's also arched forward for pull ratio. It is inserted into the frame horns, extra long bolts, and it is tilted backwards just a little bit to allow for the tongue to go down even with the frame. So I mounted it low on purpose so that it is the exact same height as the lowest portion of any frame, which will give a direct line of pull when it's going, because those frame horns are not, that it's mounted to, are not supposed to hold any weight. But when I reinforced it triangularly with the rear of the truss for the mounting horn for the transmission, that should have sufficed enough. And I can get on it and it just barely does flex, and I'm 300 plus pounds. So a tongue weight of 150 pounds for a small trailer, small motorcycle trailer, or my little small advertising trailer should do rather well. Shouldn't have any major problems. Think I'll probably plug the end caps, or find we used to, back in the day, taking slide chains in our custom built tubular bumpers. We would slide chains in it, so I think I might get a small toe strap and put 2 plugs on each end, slide a small toe strap in there, so just in case. And that'll give some place for me to mount the trailer. Plus, if ever it breaks down, there's really no place for them to hook anything onto the GO4 to tow it safely and securely onto a flatbed. And that's the way it has to be moved. You cannot drag them, you cannot put them in neutral, you cannot take the shafts off of them, according to what they say by the manual. But it's looking good. I think it's going to be rather well suited for my needs. And so this has been 3 weeks coming, and I want to thank everybody involved, my dad and me. It has been a really long time. So there we go. We're done. See ya.
Damn, that was annoying.
A few moments later.
Alright, that's what it looks like. It looks like it's going to work okay. That's the one that dog leg up. We've got another one that's just a straight one. I'll probably use just the straight one. But it seems like That ought to do okay. We'll have to see how it rides on the tongue, but that's looking good, so we're going to head in. We got quite a few things to do, so see ya!